Now we're going to switch into another topic that I love to talk about. I am a real estate investor. I own, we have a group that owns several rentals, and I always like to talk about asset protection when it comes to a limited liability company. Mm-hmm. So, Kevin, let's talk about what is an LLC and what does it do for a real estate investor?
Okay, well, an LLC stands for Limited Liability Company. You file it with the Secretary of State. Then you get a new tax ID number that it's a business, your business. It can be just you or you, your spouse, whoever, partners, etc. That you now run the business through. Now you put assets into the LLC. The benefit is when you have an LLC and you have a liability causing event, the only assets that are exposed are the assets in the LLC. Your own, say your 401k, your retirement accounts, your brokerage accounts, your own family home, business, etc. That's not exposed. Only the assets in the LLC have any exposure.
Excellent. So, and then it's best to probably start that up before you start investing, correct? I mean, it's easier if you have that in place.
Right, it is easier rather than, say, acquiring property and then transferring it in, although that's doable. Better to do it a little late than never, but...
Get it set up. Do it at the same time. If you can probably do it at a trust and an LLC at the same time, right?
Yeah, exactly. I have a number of clients where we do that, and then you assign the LLC into the trust, so then whether it's a big business or whether it's, you have an LLC to own property, it's still in the trust. So then you pass away, the business can smoothly be transferred to who's supposed to get it.
What is the cost?
The attorney fees, mine are between $1,500 and $2,000. The filing fees are $425 with the Secretary of State. And so for that amount of money, you get the initial filing of the LLC. I obtain the tax ID number. I draft the operating agreement and other funding documents. And then I also assist clients in, a lot of them are actually running businesses, so I assist them with getting the local licenses, whether it's Washoe County, Sparks, or Reno.
So the new ones out there, I don't know how new it is, but what's the difference between a regular LLC and a Series LLC?
Okay, well, there's only a handful of states that have a Series LLC, they call it, and we're one of them. What it is you create the main LLC, and that gets filed with the Secretary of State. And you have to check a special box on the filing form.
And that's actually a good point, because I had a problem where it wasn't checked and it caused a lot of problems.
Right. Yeah.
We did something where we changed it.
You can amend it.
Yeah, so we had to amend it, make an amendment, and then file again, and then it had to go back through. So make sure you're checking that box. There is a little box that you check.
Right. So you file the LLC and you check the box that it's a Series LLC, and then internally, meaning the Secretary of State doesn't get this information. Internally, you create separate what are called series. Look at them as, say, subsidiary businesses. The benefit is that each separate series, let's say I have clients with a number of rental properties. Let's say you have 5 rental properties. You create one main LLC, and you create a series for each separate rental. Now you have to keep the accounting separate, but beyond that, what it does is each series is separate and distinct liability-wise. So if a brain surgeon falls down your rotted steps at one property, that's the only asset that's exposed, as opposed to if you just had one LLC and 5 properties in it, everything in there is exposed.
And having multiple LLCs, right?
Yeah, then there's the filing fee. The annual filing fees are, I believe it's $350 a year. Mm-hmm. So you have 5 LLCs, that's $350 times 5. If you have the series, there's only the one filing fee every year. And the initial setup. If
you want more information, you can actually go to lunch with Kevin. He'll kind of give you the lowdown. If you're only going to have 1 or 2 properties, it might be worth just having one LLC. So I see a lot of people trying to avoid Series or LLCs by saying, hey, I'm just going to go get a $1 million umbrella policy on my property. Is that, obviously you should do that, but is that wise? Or...
It's it is wise to have an umbrella policy or coverage,
but does it eliminate the need for a trust or a LLC?
No. Unfortunately, and not to malign any insurance people, the insurance companies generally don't look for every possible reason why they're going to pay on your claim or a claim against you. That depending on the type of liability-causing event that happens, there may not be coverage for it, or you might not have enough coverage for it. And let's say you have 5 properties, and again, say a brain surgeon falls down the stairs, it's going to be more than $1 million if someone Doesn't have to be a brain surgeon, but if someone's hurt badly, or if they're going to need care for a long time,
and a large income.
yeah, exactly. It's a large income, lots of kids. There's a lot of different factors, but $1 million sounds like a lot, but it isn't really, and it doesn't give you peace of mind. Again, if the insurance company says, "Oh, we didn't know you were, renting it to this many people," or maybe that one too. But there's situations where they might deny coverage,
Now I
and you have no protection.
So all good points. So now I have people who are going online. There's some online ones, and we were just talking about one of the pitfalls. So if you're going to do that, I don't know how much money you're saving by doing that. If you're going to own rental properties and you plan to make a couple $1,000s a month, and if you can't decide if you're going to pay the $2,000, haven't done it appropriately, I don't know what to tell you. But what are some of the ramifications of someone going online and then they get an LLC and then they file it and on the property and they have a mortgage? What happens if you have a mortgage that's your existing person, and then you get an LLC and file it?
Well, technically, transferring title to an LLC is a quote transfer, according to the mortgage lenders. So what I recommend clients do, and I've only had one where they told them no, was to ask the lender. They say, okay, we did an LLC. It's the same ownership as it was before, either my wife and I, or et cetera. And can we put this property into an LLC? I've only had one time where they said no. Technically, if you do not ask permission, though, you're violating the loan provisions because it is technically a transfer.
Yeah, so keep that in mind. The best thing to do is set up ahead of time, right?
Yeah,
have all your ducks in a row
exactly
before you jump in, and then you don't have to worry about all this stuff. And then call someone like Kevin. The expense, based on if you're going to do real estate investment or serious about it and making, in this market, you could go up 20%. The amount that upfront cost is just going to, be worth it in the long run. Right.
And another thing is, as Ken hit on, you have to do it right. I've had clients that came to me after they had an entity. They had a corporation for 15 years, and I asked for their minutes and bylaws, and they said, well, we never did those. And so all they did was file the annual statement every year, but they didn't have annual meeting minutes. They didn't have minutes and bylaws when they created it. They're not going to have liability protection in that case.
Right. You got to follow the rules. So Kevin goes over that. We do personally have annual meetings. We discuss things and make sure they're logged and they're in our LLC box. So.
And you can go to Hawaii and write off your annual meeting as a business expense. So.
And I'm not an accountant. I just want to make sure we talk
about
it. Talk to your accountant. I got a good one of those. So any last advice? And get in and see someone that's professional.
Yeah, I say get in and see someone. No matter what I'm talking about, the first meeting is always free. So even if you just have questions, come in. I'll answer all your questions, and then you can decide whether no expense to get the information.
Exactly why we use Kevin is the consultation up front. See if it's something you want to do. If not, then we've at least warned you.
Exactly.
So give them your number one more time and how to contact you.
Okay, 775-737-9123.
Okay, and until next time, I appreciate everyone out there giving us thumbs up, liking our videos, commenting, and if you want more information, you can always give me a call in the office. I got Kevin's number on the hot dial, 775-525-0309. Until next time, you guys take care. Enjoy the weekend. Talk soon.
Bye.